All right. Well, now that February is here and Valentine's Day is less than 2 weeks away, we thought we'd start sharing the love, or at least start talking about it. So, our first guest is an expert on intimacy issues. That's right, we are about to go there. So if you have young ears in the room, we definitely want to alert you to the adult conversation that's about to take place, and Amy has more on that.
I love that setup so much, Carrie. Thank you so much. I want to introduce you to Dr. Walter Gammon. He is here with some advice on how to reignite intimacy. Dr. Gammon, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
We started the conversation here a few weeks ago on GMT, asking viewers to kind of write in and tell their stories of where they're at in their life when it comes to intimacy and sex. So let's start here. Why is it such a taboo topic? Why do we find ourselves, as we get older, unable to talk to our partners about this topic?
Well, I think we build up a lot of resentments. We get busy with kids. We're busy with work. We're tired. One partner might be in the mood, the other one's not in the mood. So one partner gets their nose out of joint and gets all upset and build up a lot of resentments, and eventually they're just not talking about it. And yet sex is what holds marriages together, isn't it? It's the glue. It keeps us intimate and close. Not only that, it could be a fountain of youth between the sheets. You know, studies have shown that couples who have regular sex live longer.
Wow, fountain of youth found in between the sheets. So we're talking like a powerful anti-aging device here.
Absolutely. It's been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt for men, regular sex decreases their incidence of prostate cancer dramatically.
Wow. We should say sex with their partner. We should say that.
Yes, sex with our partner.
Because this is what we want to do, the glue that holds the marriages together. We want to reignite that passion. And it seems that, you know, a lot of questions that we received from our viewers were about, well, how do you do that 40, 50, 60, beyond? How do you start to rekindle that spark?
Well, first of all, you got to be alone with your partner.
Yeah.
You got to get rid of the kids. I want not get rid of them, but, you know, make sure they're not interfering with things.
You got a laugh from our audience when you said get rid of the kids. It's not such a bad idea sometimes. Just put them outside for a few minutes. Okay, so obviously you need to get alone time, which is hard to do.
Well, you could have date nights. You could have weekend getaways. You can cook together. You can tell the kids to be in the other room. You can cook together. You can find a hobby that you like to do together. I like to recommend dancing, especially ballroom dancing for couples.
Yeah.
Because ballroom dancing is aerobic, it's mental, and it's social. It's just terrific.
And it forces you to touch each other.
Absolutely. Oh, and touch is so important. I mean, couples should touch each other at least 10 times a day. They should touch, hug, and if they're adventuresome, they could give each other full-body massages.
Wow.
That'll ignite some passion.
Hear that? The doctor prescribed full-body massages. This is a must. It's the life or death situation here. Okay, so obviously maybe just starting with simple things like doing things together, hobbies, cooking, finding something to do. If you're really adventurous, go for the ballroom dancing and massages. But touching is important, right? That's just contact with each other.
Right. Touching is very important. And not only that, in order to facilitate touching, I know this sounds very simple, you have to be nice to each other. You know, stop criticizing each other so much.
This is resonating with our audience right now. You have to be nice? What? What about the slings and arrows we like to give our spouses? We can't be nasty. This goes a long way. Start with kind words and a kind touch. And
yeah. And you know, whenever I'm out of town in business, my wife writes me little love notes and hides them in my suitcase, and I always look for them.
She does?
Yeah, and I just think it's so wonderful.
See, I do that for my 3-year-old. When I have to travel, I leave little notes and gifts for him to find, but I don't do that for you, Grant, do I? No, I don't. I don't even think about it. Okay, so that's a good thing. All right, we're talking a little bit about food today on GMT, foods that kind of are sexy, and sometimes we hear of aphrodisiacs like oysters and alike, but you have a list of foods that maybe we haven't heard of, and I want to go through them. Foods that create better intimacy. Let's walk through the list and tell me why these work.
Well, dark chocolate, of course, most women who PMS know that chocolate makes them feel well. The dark chocolate
Not just during PMS time either. Okay.
But dark chocolate releases hormones in a woman's body and makes her feel better, and more in the mood.
You're prescribing dark chocolate and full-body massages, Doc.
Absolutely.
I like this a lot. Okay, now, celery. I think that of as a non-food.
Now, celery is very important for men. It was in a book that we wrote. If men eat a celery, now we're talking a lot of celery every day, okay? A lot of celery. It causes pheromones to be released in the man's sweat, and it makes them quite irresistible to women.
Ooh.
Now, I told this to some of my patients, and when they came in for the next visit, they brought like 2 bags of celery and were chomping on them during the visit.
Listen, just blend it up in a blender, make you a smoothie, get all the stalks in, and then you're fine. Okay, celery, this is good to know. Let's move on the list. We have asparagus next.
Yeah, asparagus has different chemicals that for both sexes help stimulate sex hormones and makes them feel better.
Pumpkin seeds, really?
Yeah, now pumpkin seeds have zinc in them. And zincs will definitely boost a man's libido and a woman's libido. It boosts their testosterone levels. Even in women, they need testosterone for libido. So pumpkin seeds are very good. Pumpkin seeds also are a good source of vitamin D. So that's another thing that's very important.
Okay, you can't tell me garlic increases intimacy. That decreases intimacy, right?
No, garlic has different chemicals in it that again boosts libido. So it's a good thing.
Okay, cook with garlic. Okay, bananas. Is that the potassium, maybe? It's
potassium in bananas, and there's other vitamins in it. And again, it boosts libido and helps with everything. So you need to get all these things to make a smoothie with them,
yes,
you know?
Exactly. Just stick them all in the blender. And audience, you have to be nice to your spouse. That's what we're learning today. That was the big takeaway. Spend some time together, take a dance lesson, and just touch each other and create that intimacy again. I know you wanted to touch upon there might be underlying health issues if you're not having the intimacy in your life that you desire. I think that's a conversation for next time.
Okay, you got it.
Get those other underlying issues checked. And if you have an intimacy question for Dr. Gammon, we want to hear from you. What did we say today that kind of sparked some interest? Go to our Facebook page. WFAA GMT is how you find it.